Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Success Never Sleeps. It is January 26th, 2024. Uh, I am not Brandon Beliso. My name is Jason Smith. I am owner of Believe Martial Arts in Chipley, Florida, and we're here to talk about effective curriculum strategies and all. Now, before we get started with all that, we want to make sure that we recognize our sponsors for the show. So we have Tusa, Market Muscles, My Studio, Kids Love Life Skills, and LC Accounting. All great companies. Um, Great service from every single one of these companies. And they just do an amazing job at the same time. So great customer service and products along the way. So we're thankful to have them as sponsors on the show today. All right. Now. But before we get started into our topic for today, one of the things I want to encourage you to do is wait till the end because we have a very special announcement at the end of the show today. Okay, so make sure you hang around to the end for that. Now, of course, we got a couple of things coming up on there. So number one, we've got the It's Time group mentoring. I'm super excited about this, not only because now I'm on the other side of the mentoring of this, but just some of the topics that are in there. This is going to be kicking off here in just in February, actually. But I get to do this with my mentor, Brandon Bliso, and some very close friends that I've met through him, Marco and Monique as well. So we're excited to have that kicking off this next month. So if you're interested in that, make sure you message us and let us know. And we would love to have you on our team. All right. Next up, we've got It's Time Live Canada, May 25th to 28th. This is where Brandon's going to be traveling up to Canada and taking that amazing experience that he does at It's Time Live there in San Francisco on the road there in Canada. So if you're able to make that, be sure to get in there. It is well worth the trip and the experience that is going to happen with that as well. All right. And then we've got It's Time Live Purpose in November 9th to the 12th. This is going to be at his Millbrae location there in San Francisco at One Martial Arts. I go every single year. This is on my calendar every year. And I can't tell you how much it has made me grow, how many relationships I've gotten from this, and just spending the 4 days cultivating everything from teaching on the mat to a mindset to financial wealth. All of that is covered at It's Time Live on there. So make sure you look for that link and put that on your calendar. So we look forward to seeing you all there November 9th to the 12th. All right. So let's get in. Let's dive into today on there. So make sure that number one, make sure you comment. Let me know you're here. I love to see comments coming through the chat and everything. Marco will pop those up as we get them. And then also with StreamYard here, make sure you allow access so we can see your name from Facebook and all that, or from the different platforms and all on there as well. So I see Bob Pools here. I know Bob is here every single week. He is definitely consistent on that. We're grateful to have you with us today, sir. And then Ashton, of course, he's my number 2 guy. He's my partner here at the business on there. Glad you're joining us in there as well, and seeing what all we're talking about. All right, so let's get started. We're going to be talking about effective curriculum on there. Oh, and Monique, what's up? Karate for Girls. Monique's one of our team members for It's Time, and that's one of those valuable relationships that I cultivated through knowing Brandon and going to It's Time, all the mentoring and everything. So glad to have you here with us as well. All right, so let's jump straight into curriculum. Now, a lot of times whenever we talk about curriculum, and again, as you have questions, different things like that, make sure you pop that in on there. Pop that into the chat so we can answer those and talk about them as well. I'm going to go ahead and tell you the challenge with curriculum. It can be daunting. It can be a huge task on there. But our curriculum, the way I view it, is curriculum is our food in the restaurant, right? It's like food in the restaurant for us. So we need to make sure that we are offering the best up of that, and we need to constantly be cultivating it and double checking it and making sure that we stay relevant with it. So one of the big things, it's not about what you teach, but how you teach it. So first thing is we want to talk about physically knowing the curriculum. You know, number one for our team, and then also just being able to how they communicate that to our students, right? So whenever we're training our team, number one, we need to make sure that they physically know the curriculum. They can do it, and then after that, can they physically teach it? Right? Can they go through that process of communicating it effectively in an age and skill level specific way to teach that as well? So how often is your team training over your curriculum? So um, that's my first question. For those of you that are on here, how often does your team train on your curriculum? And while we're waiting on some of that, we'll keep going through. Um, but I would love to hear some of the answers to that. I've heard everything from every day to once a month. Some of them do quarterly trainings. Um, for us, we train at least once a week. We have a scheduled training once a week that we physically train on our curriculum. On there, matter of fact, we do it on Fridays on there. So uh, the question is, how often does your team train over your curriculum? So for us, we do it once a week. We do it every Friday. We're going through what they're teaching, how they're teaching it. Okay, great. So Monique is saying quick weekly check-ins and more intense monthly. Okay. And now, Monique, I know your situation. You're a little bit different, unique. You have your schools in Maryland, and so do you do that virtually, all virtually, or do you travel in to see them? So, um, but yeah, so we do ours once a week, about an hour long training on there, but we're going over physically doing it ourselves, training through that, and then also on the top side of that, we're going in and doing how to teach it, how to communicate that as well. All right, weekly via Zoom, monthly in person. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, um, Marco, we run leadership classes every 2 weeks. Every day we start off by reviewing the day and what we are working on just to make sure everyone is on point. Yeah, and to me, that's kind of the secret sauce to it, right? Is we can go over it intensively, weekly, daily, different things like that. But we need to make sure that we're or monthly. I'm sorry, but daily we need to be checking in, making sure that we refine it as we go through that and all. So that's the physical side of it, of them knowing it, and then physically being able to teach it. Uh, a lot of times we've always heard disguise repetition. And that's what I think of whenever I talk about physically being able to teach it. Are we able to teach it in so many different ways that every student can grasp and understand it? You know, are we making sure that we're teaching it in ways that they can process it? Some people are visual, some people are auditory, some people are kinesthetic, where they have to move with it. Are we doing it all those different ways in there? And the answer to the question is there's not really a right answer. There's a right answer for you and your team. How are you going to be successful with it, or how's your team going to be successful with it, and help your students feel successful as well as we go through that. So physically being able to teach it. Are we looking at age and skill level specific? Are we looking at the way they are, the way their learning process is on there? Are we hitting all of those on there? And then are we teaching it in multiple ways? Are they looking in the mirror, following along with the instructor? Are we doing it by count? Are we calling out the moves? Are we hitting the pads? Are they doing it with a partner? There's so many different ways that we can actually teach our techniques, that are they getting the reps in so that they can understand it, so that they can feel successful with it and all. All right. So, what are some ways? Here's my next question. What are some ways that you utilize or have your instructors utilize the way they teach, the way they physically teach your curriculum? Right? So, what are some of the ways that your instructors disguise the repetition that they, is there certain drills? Are there certain pad holding drills? Do they do it in the air? Do they do it with a partner? Different things like that. What are some of your biggest takeaways? Some of your most successful ways that you're doing that? Because we've heard Professor say it in here all the time. Uh, that this is a collective. We're here to learn together. Maybe something that I do that will help you, but there's something that you can do that may help me or somebody else that's in as well. And remember, if you're here, make sure you drop in, say hi, put the name of your school, where you're tuning in from. We always love to see everybody engage into the conversation with us. It's amazing to be able to see that and know where everybody's at. All right. So the question is, what are some of the ways that you teach your curriculum? What kind of drills do you use? Right? And while we're waiting on for some of those to come in there, let's see. I do have a couple of others coming over here. I see Virginia's here. Awesome. I'm gonna double back to that. Virginia, let's see. Okay, so you train weekly. Awesome. Okay. James is here from Resilient Martial Arts, Virginia from Journey Martial Arts. Again, great people that I've been able to meet through its time and Professor. All right. Oh, and then we've got Brandon in with us now. CAPS, knowledge, accuracy, power, and speed are all the girls recite centered around those four strategies. Yeah, so knowledge, accuracy, power, and speed. So every drill that we do uh, goes around those four attributes, right? So is it building up the knowledge? Is it creating the accuracy for them on there? Are they able to develop the power and introduce the speed into it? I love that. Love that. Caps. Yes. Yes. Awesome. 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 Good. Yeah. So whenever we're developing that through, are we building drills around those four attributes, right? Are we building it up around the knowledge? Do they understand what the technique is, how it's supposed to be delivered? Breaking that down so that they can start, follow through, and end correctly with it. Okay, the accuracy on it. Are they hitting the target point? Right, whether that be with a partner on a pad. Um, are they able to hit that target point in there for accuracy? Power. For me, the for me, a power station is definitely on the bags on there or the big shields. Uh, those two are great for power. Actually, accuracy, of course, hand targets, noodles, different things like that. We can use, and then same thing for speed. We do one drill where we hold the target out like this, and we have a pull noodle so they can build up speed and their power on there, so they can work accuracy and power in that drill. And we just try to tap their hand uh, with the noodle on there. Okay, so awesome, fantastic. All right, so now the way you lay out your curriculum, of course, we go back every year and start looking at that. But there's one specific thing that creates your curriculum to make it yours. Okay. So, for instance, us here at Believe Martial Arts, we took on Brandon's curriculum. We took on Chinese Kempo. That's what we teach, and and we teach the same thing, but there's one aspect that we delivered a little bit differently. Are you and that is our culture. Are you infusing your culture, your purpose, and your why into your curriculum? Are your instructors delivering that through? Okay. So, for example, if they're working on, a cross or a reverse punch, are we just highlighting that they're working on the reverse punch, or can we deliver that through our culture? Can we talk about them how their confidence levels uh, increasing because we can see it in the power of their punch. We see that they're starting to believe in themselves. You know, um, if they go to break a board, they break the board with that punch, and we can tell that at that moment they knew that they were being successful. You know, do your instructors relay that information and cultivate that culture as they're teaching your curriculum, right? So, what are some ways that you can take and infuse your curriculum with your culture? Okay, I'd love to hear some ideas from the group here. So we got several folks on, so make sure you say hi, right? And while we're waiting on some of those, I'm gonna take a quick sip of my water there, right? But what are some ways that you think or that you do it, that you infuse your culture into your curriculum, right? So one of the other ways that we do that is that we communicate that with our parents. You know, we talk about it to them. See, Johnny's really believing in himself, really showing that he believes in himself today. Because I know he's been struggling with those push-ups, but he's fighting through. He's working hard. He's showing he's got confidence that he can do it. That he believes in himself. Different things like that. And are you practicing that with your instructors? Because not all of it comes very easy, but we have to put in the reps and practicing that as well, um, to to deliver that experience in each one of our classes through that. Okay. All right. Now, as we kind of keep going through this, let's see. All right, Brandon's got a long one here. Nice. Let's see. So the language that we use in all of our classes center around live your best life. If someone's doing an excellent push-up, we will say, look at Johnny living his best life, doing that push-up at a level 10. When we bow to class, in the class finishes, we bow and say, what are you going to go out there and do? Everybody shouts, live your best life. We have the opportunity to promote our culture and our why through every thought, word, and action, be it at the warm-up, yeah, absolutely, through the stretches, and I'm assuming at the end. But yeah, absolutely. So are you infusing that culture throughout the whole time in there, from the warm-up, from the live talk, from the curriculum, into the stretches, into the finish, so that it's so infused in there that they understand the culture, right? All right, Marco, we continue to update and adjust our curriculum to make it more accessible to everyone. We go deep on making it age level and skill level appropriate. Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's so many things in the martial arts. So let's be honest. I mean, martial arts was created by men for men to do battle. That was the history of it, right? And who do we primarily teach now? I know like for us, it's kids, you know, and also, there's certain things in there that we need to make sure that is age and skill level specific in there. So, things in our curriculum get moved around because, a white belt doesn't need to do that, right now. I remember Brandon telling me a story of the Kempo curriculum. There was a kata that was at white belt that he moved into level 4 because originally it was put there because it was designed to quote unquote kind of weed people out because you wanted the strongest people, most talented people going into battle with you. So it was that kind of idea of it originally. So he moved it up so that they had more time to build that skill set and be able to do the kata. And it's a great kata. I love it and all, but it just doesn't need to be down there at white belt. So while we can still respect the tradition of it, but we can embrace the innovation and move things around. Not that we have to abandon our art or abandon our curriculum. We just need to learn to teach it in a more effective and productive way, right? So what's Marco sharing here? I learned knife defense technique as a white belt, 8 years old. Wow. We moved them to black belt. Below black belt, our technique is a good pair of sneakers and run. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't imagine. I have an 8-year-old daughter. I couldn't imagine her learning knife defense right now. I couldn't imagine that. Nor, I wouldn't want her to. I don't want that false sense of um, confidence there, I guess. That's not her job to defend against a knife. I wouldn't want her to have to. I want her to run. You know. Um, so yeah, completely. I agree with you there, Marco. Completely on there. But yeah, so going back into infusing your culture into this, right? Oh, let's see. There's some more coming in. Awesome. Let's see. So at Journey, we do a lot of drills where students break out into small groups of 3 or 4. They practice taking turns leading a technique or counting off the drill, as well as practicing offering feedback. That's awesome. So that's a good leadership tool in there as well, to one another. This approach of helping students grow brave and spread kindness, which is the central to our purpose at JMA. Absolutely, absolutely. And Virginia, you do a great job of cultivating that purpose. I know last week Marco was talking about marketing and branding, and I completely agree. He was talking about how well you do your branding and things like that, and it's amazing with all that. So um, I'm blessed to be able to see you cultivate that, and also it's very inspiring on there. I love that you're putting in that leadership from day one, from day one, and that's important. Leadership is not a program. Leadership is in our program. It's in our curriculum. It's what we teach. So we do the same. Started on day one. It's for us it's Johnny can come up and do the technique in front of everybody and help lead the class. He's being a leader right then. He's standing up in front of his peers, showing that confidence, right? So just recently, my youngest son started our excellent kids class, and he's usually pretty shy, but he jumps out there, and he day one of his class, he's holding the pad for another student. He gets to break his board, and now he's excited every day. Am I going to class today? Do I have class today? So cultivating that even at a young age. He's 4. He's 4 and already learning leadership skills. So can we do that through our entire class for all of our students on there? And I believe that's something we can do. We just have to have the purpose and intent behind it to do it as well. And as we infuse our culture into that, it becomes even easier to do that with as well. All right. So, I urge you to take a look at that. Step back. Are you infusing your purpose and your culture into all aspects of your class plans, into your curriculum throughout the whole thing? Are you using technology to support your curriculum as well and infusing that culture into that? you know so one of the biggest things that's helped our students out is online videos, being able to train, you know to be able to watch that at home. But again, we want to infuse that culture into those videos so that they see that it's not just an in person on the mat thing, it's in everything that we do as well. So we want to make sure that we're doing that, whether it be virtual. I know some people are still teaching some classes virtually. We do. We actually have 2 days that we teach virtual classes on, and it's the same drills we take, and we sit there and make sure that we are uh, infusing our culture and our purpose through that virtual class just as much as if they were standing in front of us in person as well. All right. Let's see. What's Virginia got? It's always so much fun to see the parents watching class pull their phones out to start recording when they see their kids thriving as leaders in front of the class. Absolutely. I love that. That is, to me, that's a personal challenge that I have for me whenever I teach. I want to see how many phones, I don't want the parents down on their phone doing this. I want them engaged in the class, but I want them pulling that phone out to record. And, so I love that. Yeah, and it is. It's so much fun to see that. And, whenever the kids got a big smile on their face, of course, their parents in the back just had the biggest smile too. Right. And that's important because a part of our culture is, we're family. We're a community. We're here to do this together. So if that that kid's thriving on the mat, then we want to know that we support that because what we do on the mat extends at home and at school. You know. Oh, I see somebody. Hey, Jason. It just says Facebook user. Make sure you allow StreamYard. Let me know who you are. Love to give you a shout out on the show. So, um, so yeah. So are you leveraging technology to help? It's Lorenzo. What's up, Lorenzo? We had a really great conversation just a couple of weeks ago, and starting to see a lot more of your posts, sir. Keep up that hard work. I love seeing the growth. Um, but yeah, so are you leveraging that technology, and even leveraging that technology, are you still infusing your purpose and your culture into that? That's super important. Okay. All right. Now, and again, if you've got questions, if you want to talk about anything specific with curriculum, I would love for you to pop that in. Um, you know, uh, this is a learning experience for all of us on there. We all need those opportunities to be able to grow and better our curriculum. So, if you have any questions or anything like that, go ahead and pop it into the chat. Um, I love seeing the interaction. I love seeing the comments as they come through on there. All right. So next step, um, comment in there, comment in there if you teach life skills. If you teach life skills in your curriculum, okay. Let's see. I'm assuming that's still Lorenzo. Yep. Uh, let's talk about why white belt and level one quit. I struggle a lot with this. Okay. So Lorenzo, to kind of answer your question there's a lot of things to go into that as well. All right. Um, white belt level one. So number one, I would do a couple of audits with it first, right? So I'd audit the class times. I would audit the class availability. So not only times, what days they're offered. Because you got to remember, these are newer students. They haven't bought into they haven't, invested into your culture yet. They're not a part of it yet, right? So, um, that's number one on there. So what time and what days are you offering classes on there? And then who's teaching? How are they teaching? And what are they teaching? Okay, so there's all of that stuff there's a lot of data there that you need to kind of come to and start evaluating with that on there. All right. Um, but again, we've got to make sure that we don't overwhelm with information either, right? Especially whenever they're first starting out. If it's like drinking through a fire hydrant, they're not going to last. You know. So all right, let's see. So we got teaching life skills. Kids love life skills. Yes, yes. Kids love life skills. Absolutely. Um, and I'll go ahead and tell you, we are too. You can see it. Where's it at? Right there. Right. We are a Kids Love Life Skills school. Yes. Awesome. So life skills is a huge component. It is not putting discipline and respect on your wall, though. Just because I put it on my wall doesn't mean I teach it. But are you are you teaching your life skills like you teach your curriculum? Are you infusing life skills into your curriculum? Most schools, and I hope that this is starting to trend the other way now. But most schools used to teach it where they go, yeah, we would do our mat chat. We call them life talks, but we used to call them mat chats. So we do our mat chat. Takes about what 30 seconds to a minute, maybe in there, and then that was it. There was nothing else. So if we're a life skills school, which is one of the things that we can offer in martial arts outside of so many other activities. And for me, I don't see martial arts as really as an activity, but those parents coming in, it's an activity right now. For me, it's a lifestyle. It's a long-term education in there, right? I view martial arts in our curriculum and what we do with, higher level learning institutions, things like that. But those parents are still new. Those families are still new to us. It's an activity for them, but we need to infuse that life skills education throughout our whole class. If we're talking about focus on our in our life talk or in our mat chat time, we should be able to point out and infuse that focus, that paying attention in every aspect of our class in there, right? You know, from the kid that's looking with their eyes, and I'm looking at him going, Johnny, that's great eye focus there. I see that you're looking at me as we're going through our warm up, and I'll make sure you do that at home whenever your parents are talking to you. Different things like that, so we can cultivate that it's not just what happens on the mat. It's that we want them to use this in every aspect of their life, and the more connections we can make for our students, the more they're going to understand it, the more they're going to implement it. They're going to understand that it's not just on the mat as well. So, what are some ways that you infuse life skills, or do you? Is your using life skills? Is it just a mat chat for you, or do you infuse it for your entire class? And if you infuse it into the entire class, what's some examples that you use that you have for that? How do you infuse it? How do you train your instructors to do that as well? Let's see. I'm guessing this is Lorenzo. Let's see. White belts, Monday through Friday. Okay. So white belts Monday through Friday, Monday and Wednesdays at 5, Tuesday, Thursday, 5:45, Friday at 5:30, level 1. Okay. All right. So now, Lorenzo, you gotta see if that's, are those prime times for your students as well, right? So is that good times for the families as they're coming in on there? And the best way to do is to ask. You gotta ask on there. I would love to see a Saturday class on there for you as well. All right. So let's see. Virginia, Journey Martial Arts. I believe unmet expectations are usually what causes students to quit early on. So maybe look at talking about Lorenzo's question. Yeah. So maybe look at what promise you may be making or expectations you may be setting. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So we don't need to under promise and over deliver. We need to deliver on what we promise, right? We need to have a high expectation on what we do and how we do it. Absolutely. Yeah, we need to make sure we're not overwhelming them and we're delivering on the promises that we made whenever they came in, whether it be a trial class or on a trial program or whenever they first signed up. Absolutely. All right. So what ways are you infusing life skills into your curriculum? Is it just the mat chat? You know, how can you use something like discipline, which means to always do your best, and your kids are working on, front kicks on the bag, for example. What's some ways that we could do that? I'm gonna challenge you, make you think, right? Right? Make you think. How can we infuse those life skills? All right. So Monique, we have a monthly raffle. Is that for the life skills? Tell me a little bit more about that, Monique. Let's see. Students give Okay, so yeah, so the students give an example of them using or implementing the life skills, and they get entered into the raffle. That's awesome. I like that. I like that idea. I like that idea. Now, is the challenge for them to be able to utilize that outside of classes? Is that the implementation part? Is mainly focused on them doing it outside of the school? Right? Um, so with this right here, so whenever we're talking about life skills, guys, one of the biggest things is that we want to make sure that we're able to inject this uh, the life skills education throughout our entire class from the time they step on the mat to the time they bow out. And then the support material to go with that, because our life skills curriculum is just as much a part of our curriculum as our martial arts curriculum. We need to make sure that we have the support material for them. That's the reason why I love Kids Love Life Skills, because it provides us that. We have a student parent handout, a coloring sheet that they do, you know, that they can talk about, badges that they can earn on there as well. And whenever one of our students earns a badge, whether it be somebody in our excellent kids class as young as 3, or one of our adults, and we got adults in their up in their 50s, they're still earning a badge and they're just as excited about it on there as well. Let's see, Monique. Yes, outside of classes also promotes discussion at home. I like that. So it's getting them to talk about that life skill outside of the school, getting them to implement it, and having those discussions at home. Yeah, because we want it to promote that this is something they're learning for life. We talk about it that we teach them these life skills because we want them to be successful in life, not just on our mat, but in life. So whether they choose to uh, go to college, go to trade school, whatever it may be, whatever their journey is in life, we want them to have the tools to be successful in and find their version of success on there, right? So, Monique, one winner each month, and if they do it all year, they get to have lunch with Sensei. Women and girls love it. So they get to have lunch with you. That's awesome. That's awesome. That is super cool. I like that. Um, yeah. So, what's some other ways that you're utilizing your life skills curriculum in your community, in your school, right? So, what's some other ways as well? Right. And remember, if you haven't said hi, if you're just sitting there watching, please say hi. I love seeing the comments in here. I love the interaction um, with everything. So make sure if you got those questions, pop them in there. Let's talk about it together. Let's learn and grow together. And so while we're waiting on some of that to come in, one of the biggest things for me, and that's the reason why even right now, us talking about curriculum, we were talking about the It's Time group mentoring program earlier. And this is one of the components, one of the experiences that we're going to be going into in that group mentoring program. And you're going to have myself, you're going to have Monique, you're going to have Marco as your accountability partners through that. We're going to help you along the way. And of course, Brandon's going to come in and do his thing as well, and help us to cultivate that experience even more each month. So you know this is something that's gonna we're gonna dive deep into, you know, because again, our curriculum, that's like food in the restaurant. You know, it's got to be on point, and then your staff, your team, they got to know how to deliver it. It's creating that wow experience in every single class, not just whenever they enroll. Every single class, every single class on there, right? So we need to spend time cultivating that as well. You know, uh, does your team spend time studying your life skills curriculum just as much as they study the physical? You know, I'm a martial artist at heart. Get me on the mat, have me punch pads and kick the bag, or work kata, anything like that. Man, we'll jump at it quick, right? But are you also taking that opportunity to dive deep into understanding and applying the life skills component of your curriculum on there? Let's see, Virginia's got some things from Journey Martial Arts. Uh, One example we're currently working on with the fitness badge. We point out to the kids what it feels like in their bodies to be practicing fitness and exercising at a level 10. Wow, Johnny, you're getting sweaty and breathing hard. Good job practicing fitness in class. Remember to exercise this way at home between classes too. Maybe dad will even want to join you. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I like that you're bringing the family in on that. To me, that's crucial. That's crucial. Making sure that we uh, implement that at home component with them. We can't make them work out, but we can definitely encourage it, right? You know, and then having family join in with them, to do that. Like for us, it's a part of our excellent kids class. That our parents get on the mat with them and do a couple of drills. I know Brandon does a full parent class on there, and I know Marco's on here. Marco, you do a full parent class as well? I think on there. I know a couple of schools do that as well. Again, and it's something you got to try it out. You got to see if it works. We tried the full parent class. Our parents weren't really into it as much, so we kind of backed it down a little bit. We just have them participate in certain drills. But again, it's where they feel successful. It's where they feel their kids are successful on there as well. So there's more than one way to be successful. So we want to utilize all those avenues with it too on there. So the question I got for you right now is, do you have your instructors study and role play delivering the life skills? Not just the mat chat, but delivering the life skills at a level 10, at that level to where they can utilize it in any conversation. Do you have them going through that? Okay. So while we're waiting on a couple of those answers to come in as well, remember, if you're here on the show if you're here at the show right now, make sure you stick around till the end. We got a special announcement coming up here in just a couple of minutes on there, so make sure you stick around as well. All right. Now, kind of going back through that uh, with our curriculum, are we are we delivering it in such a way, or is your instructors doing it? So, one, as we train our team, as we train our instructors, are we making it fun for them, right? And then is our instructors or it's our team delivering it in a way that makes it fun for our students, right? We want them to have fun on the mat. We want them to want to be there, right? So while we're still teaching everything they need to learn, we want them smiling. We want them to break a sweat, see some change in every class on there as well. But at the end of class, have you ever heard your students come in and go, "Man, class felt so short today. I hate that it's over. I can't wait to come back tomorrow." Right? Or the parents going, "I saw, I saw my kid. Uh, I saw their confidence level change because they stood up taller. They, whenever they had to yell, they yelled a little bit louder. Or I'm shocked that my kid got up in front of the whole class and helped lead." That's that culture. That's that the life skills that we're infusing into our curriculum on a daily basis, right? Is your team delivering it to that level, right? So that's the reason why I ask, do you have your team practice that just as much as they practice the physical curriculum in there? So that's one of the things that we focus in on. We focus in that, we want to make sure not only can they do, you know, our our Kempo curriculum, but can they infuse the believe culture into it? Can they deliver the life skills at any moment in that curriculum? Can they spot it as a student's working hard? You know, those kind of things. So let's see, what's Journey or Virginia? It keeps going up Journey. So Journey Martial Arts got Virginia. Great idea with the life skills role play. Jason, need to do more of that type of training. Yeah, and that was one of the big things for us. Like it was one thing to study the life skill talk, the life talk in there. But can we go through different aspects of class, doing different techniques, kata, different, anything like that, different drills, anything and everything from the time we bow in until the time we bow out of class, and can we find a way to insert that in as well? So And then can we highlight and spotlight with it as well? And that takes just as much practice as anything else, because you got to be that you got to have that critical eye for that. As human beings, we're kind of we naturally can spot the bad immediately, but can we spot the good? And can we highlight that? Or can we encourage our students, to keep pushing through the challenge that they're having, and inject that life skill so they can see how that life skill applies in that particular situation. So having our team role play through that has really been a game changer on there. Um, and sometimes it's easy to let that kind of fall by the wayside at times, but getting back into that and really seeing that, um, that's a true part of our curriculum, not just the blocks, kicks, and punches. Because let's face it, if we're only teaching blocks, kicks, and punches, they can go anywhere and learn blocks, kicks, and punches, any school. But if they truly want that higher level of education, that life skills component in there, then we believe that we're the best. We believe that we're the best, with that. And to do that, we have to deliver it at a level that is, that's above all. You know, so that's our viewpoint on that, is that we want to be able to deliver it at such a high level that people in our community recognize that. Leaders in our community recognize that. Schools in our community recognize that. You know, we're so focused in on the life skills component, uh, that we used to go to the schools and used to be called the karate guys. We don't hear that anymore. We're the life skill educators now. Um, so that's really cool to see that switch. Marco, we are focused on being the best at life skills and character development on in our community. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Because it's one of the things to where, I want to be the best at it. I want to deliver that. And when it made the switch for me, honestly, it really made the switch for me whenever I became a parent. That was whenever it really hit home for me. You know, I'm like, this is what I want for my kids. This is what I need to be given to all of our community as well. And that was, just where I was at that time on there. So, that life skills component is just as important as any block, kick, or punch that we teach in our curriculum as well. All right. So, as we kind of start coming to the end of the show here, or right before we do the big announcement, right? Um, Let me see. Do you have any other questions in there, or any other comments? Feel free to put them in there. I would love to see some more comments in there. Just anything you got on there. Any other questions as we start to wrap up? Um, Again, let's want to go ahead and make sure that I don't forget to thank our sponsors on there. So number one, Tusa uniforms. We use uniforms from Tusa. It's amazing. Um, Gunny and the gang there really take care of you. They got some great products in there. Uh, Not just uniforms. They got some great equipment as well. So definitely check them out. Market Muscles, simply the best in website design on there. Steven and the gang there do a great job. Market Muscles TV is a game changer as well. My Studio, you know, My Studio is again another one of those great companies that constantly are innovating. They're constantly bettering their product. And of course, we've been talking about Kids Love Life Skills a lot on there. So Marco, Letitia, uh, Amy, Ben, all those guys at Kids Love Life Skills, they do a great job in supporting us on there. And again, Brandon works with them and takes and is really pushing the envelope in life skill development. So Kids Love Life Skills, be sure to check them out um, for all the life skills components that we use, the badges, the parent student handout, the life talks, coloring sheets. Even got some games on there as well. Stripes, everything you need. Everything you need. So check out Kids Life Skills. And then LC Accounting. Letitia does our accounting. She keeps us straight. Sometimes it's a battle to keep me straight, but she does a great job at that. I was messaging her something the other day, asking her about it. She goes, "No, I already took care of that for you." So Letitia is definitely, and she's a martial artist. I was grateful and honored to be able to test for my Kempo black belt with her on there. So we have that bond as well too. But she is an amazing accountant and a great martial artist in there. So all those sponsors. So be sure to check them out. Some great companies that are service based on there. Okay, and then let's go ahead and pop up. So of course, we got the It's Time group mentoring coming up, starting up in February. So make sure you look for the link. I know I've shared it on social media, but look for that. It's in all kinds of groups and everything like that, or just message one of us, and we'll be glad to help you out and get you signed up for that. We're starting that next month. And again, you're going to have myself, Marco, and Monique uh, as accountability partners. You can reach out to us at any time, and we're going to be there to help you every step of the way. And of course, Brandon's going to come in and he's going to do his thing, his Yoda thing. On there as well. So that's going to be an amazing time. We're really looking forward to that. Excited for those experiences that we've cultivated in that as well on there. All right, and then we've got It's Time Live Canada coming up in May. That's May 25th to the 28th. So if you're in that area or you just want to have a great getaway, go check out It's Time Live Canada. The It's Time experience is on the road, and you will not regret that on there as well. So make sure you go check out It's Time Live Canada on there. And then we have It's Time Live Purpose, November 9th through the 12th. That's going to be back at One Martial Arts in Millbrae, the San Francisco area. And I cannot express enough. This is one I have on my calendar every single year. That 4-day experience, it is refreshing. It is challenging. You cultivate a lot, but Brandon guides you through every step of the way. And some of the relationships you will build in that will be some of the best ones. I can honestly say that some of the best relationships I have, some of the best people I know is through It's Time. All right. So make sure you show up for that as well too. All right. So here we are. We got a couple of minutes left in the show. And we kind of been teaching you about this big announcement. All right. So here it is. You ready? Today, and I'll let Marco pop that up. Today is super special. Today is Brandon's 62nd birthday. So we want to wish him a huge happy birthday. I'm not going to sing to you because they won't let me back on the show after that. But we do have some guests that want to pop on. All right. So I'm going to let Marco start doing that.
Yeah, I'm going first. So I
All right.
want to
There you
say
go.
happy birthday to Brandon. We love you. We are so grateful. Amy and I and Christian obviously are so grateful to have you in our lives. Everything you've done for us. Happy 62nd birthday to you, my brother. And we got some more people coming on the show, so I'm going to kick myself out and start bringing them on one by one. All right. When you see yourself on the
Awesome.
screen, say what you got.
Oh,
Ah,
hey.
hey, Professor, happy birthday, sir. I just wanted to send you these greetings and just thank you for the impact you've had in my life as my mentor, as my friend. You've truly helped me learn to live my best life. And I'm just so encouraged every day by the community that you've fostered for us as martial arts school owners. And just know that you have created a ripple effect that is going to be a legacy for many, many years to come. And you are a gift to me, and I celebrate you today, sir. Happy birthday.
Hi, Brandon. It's Monique and David, who's in the background, but we wanted to send you some birthday love from the East Coast. Thank you for all that you do. I'm super grateful that you are my mentor turned family, sending you so much love. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Love you. Bye.
Hi, Professor. I just want to send my love to you on your birthday from college. You really did make a big impact. The short time that I did get to train with you, so I'm always glad to be able to pop on and hear the things whenever I get to come back and believe what they've learned from you, how watch it evolve because it's changed so much since, in a very good way since I've left.
Bill. James, I think we can hear you. We can't see you.
Try giving us a shout out, James. Are you going to log back out and come back in? Who else is on board? Is anybody else out there want to jump onto the stream? I sent out a link out to everybody who wants to come in. So we have a few more minutes and wait for a few more people to jump on board and say hello.
Well,
right.
while we're waiting on that, I'll share my happy birthdays. I've made a post
There you
about
go.
it already, but you know, for me, one of the big things is, you know, Brandon, happy birthday. You know, whenever I met you the first time, I thought you were this crazy guy from California. Little did I know that was going to be not only just a mentor and a close friend, but somebody that accepts his family. So the impact you've made in my life, my family's life, my wife, my kids, my school, my team, different things like that. I'd have to echo what Virginia says. That ripple effect is going to last, you know, forever. That's going to be a legacy, and we're so grateful to be able to celebrate you today. You know, so thank you so much for everything that you do and you continue to do on there. We want to wish you a huge happy birthday and much love from myself, my family, and the Believe team. All right. So we have anybody else wanting to jump on?
And we still love that you're a crazy man from California.
Absolutely. Keeps us on our toes.
Don't ever change. Don't ever change.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need a little crazy in your life. All right. I think James is still trying to come in.
All right.
Let's see if we can add him. Let's see
if we got him. No. I think I can hear you, James, but I just can't see you. Oh, there you go. I see you.
Hey, that's probably a better thing anyway. Okay. Hey,
no, I got you. I can see you and hear you now.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Professor, and wishing you a happy birthday. And thank you for all the blessings that you bring to all of us through your wisdom and your mentorship. And we wish you another happy 62 years around the sun, sir. Take care. Bless you. We love you.
Awesome. All right, guys. So it's been great hanging out with you guys. I loved all the comments, the questions. Thank you so much for coming on and you know, participating in this and going through this learning experience again. Happy birthday, Brandon. You got so many people that you have reached and touched our lives in such a great way, and also we definitely want to celebrate you today, sir, and what you've cultivated and how you've pushed us forward to find our version of success. Again, thank you so much. My name's Jason, and this is Success Never Sleeps. So what are you going to go out there and do? Of course, live your best life. For us, go out there and be successful.